Special breaking news edition of High Noon with me, Pugs Moran. High Noon airs every Monday through Friday at noon until whenever the news runs out. High Noon is a collection of all the day's headlines, current events, hot topics, trends, whatever it is that's happening in the world. We bring it to you every day in a neat little, I don't know, what would you call it, a rundown? We don't do any crazy politically divisive nonsense. It's just fun, everyday current events. Hot talk. Hold on a second. We've got some big breaking news that's happening right now. We've been following on the High Noon show the saga of the Chinese balloon. Hold on, I've got so many things streaming right now. I have so many different sources of internet drag happening here in the little 1% Comfort Nest studios that everything's working a little bit slow. Everything's working. So just bear with me for a second and I'll get y'all up to speed on the very interesting breaking news that we have concerning the Chinese spy balloon. By the way, if you were with us last night, we did a little special stream last night, a Friday night edition of High Noon, where we covered the incident in Billings, Montana. And then we also tracked the balloon, although when we were doing the stream last night, the balloon at that point was over Nashville, right? Isn't that what we had determined? It was over Nashville, and it was dark, so there was nothing to see there. I still have not seen anything new today regarding the explosion that maybe did, maybe didn't occur in the sky over Billings, Montana last night about 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. So I don't know. We have no answers there. Hi, everybody. All right, that's it. Come on, everybody gather in. Let's come on in the chat room. We've got Leslie. We've got one of the Leslies. We've got one of the Leslies accounted for. You know, we lead the league in Leslies and Jeffs. That's right. Our chat room is filled any given moment with a number of Leslies and a number of Jeffs. Al. Hi, Al. We got Jens. We got Ed. Hi, Ed. How are you? All right. Let's see here. All right, well, why we do these streams here is because, as I just found out, CNN is absolutely useless. I'm not a CNN hater, and I'm not one of these fake news. I'm not one of these guys either. I just went to journalism school, and I just recognize the degradation of the art. If it was ever art, journalism is not an art. Yeah. All right. So here's what happened. I'm monitoring a whole bunch of different monitors right now to try and get the most accurate and up-to-date information about the current state of the Chinese spy balloon that has been traversing our great land for the past 4 or 5 days. It's currently over the Myrtle Beach area. And as we talked about last night on the stream, it was predicted to, go across the southeastern United States. It was over Nashville the last time we checked in with it. In the past 10 hours or so, it has made its way over to Myrtle Beach, and there are some things happening, and we've got new stuff to report. And the only place you're going to get these kinds of breaking details or these kinds of live coverage of an unfolding event is on the internet. Because as I look at CNN, well, you guys, it's cold in New York and Boston. So that's all the news media cares about because they're cold. So yeah, right now they are nearly 1 million under wind chill alerts as extreme cold grips the Northeast. Anything that happens in New York, anything that happens on the Eastern Seaboard is automatically amplified by the American news media because that's where they live and they're cold and that's what they're going to talk about. I hate that. It's called an East Coast bias. You've probably heard it before. I didn't coin the phrase. All right, let me get a sip of my coffee here. And then we'll get into all of this nonsense that's happening. All right, so here's the deal. Well, I'll just go ahead and we'll bring this up. So the spy balloon is over Myrtle Beach, right? Maybe we're gonna need to pull up some stuff. Do we have a live picture of it? Let's see if we got ourselves a live picture of it. Well, I'm gonna have to steal a stream here but it's Fox. They make enough money. Seriously, they're not gonna be all that upset with me. Here it is right now. This is what we're looking at. All right, so you see that live over Myrtle Beach in the bottom there? That's the spy balloon. Now here's the fascinating thing that we've been watching here for the. Hey, Byron, come on in, pull up a chair. Can I get you something to drink? I like when I see the chat room loyalists showing up on a non-scheduled show. So, I've been watching this feed. This is a fantastic feed. This is, they got a camera trained right there on the old spy balloon as it makes its way over Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Every now and again, we're going to see some jet planes. They got jet planes in the air. Here's what's happening. The FAA has ordered ground stops at 3 of the airports in the region. You've got not Myrtle Beach. You've got, what are the ground stops? Let's see here. Let's pull this up. We'll see exactly which ones we're talking about here. Okay. Yeah, just give me a moment. I hastily threw this stream together, so as is the case when we cover these live streams. And by the way, we're going to do a lot more covering of live breaking events in addition to the Monday through Friday stream that we do at noon every day. That's high noon. That's current events driven. And then we come back at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it's myself and James Parker. We do a little thing we like to call Pugs and Parker's Pillow Talk. That's also current events driven, but it's more conversational, and there's a little bit more lifestyle stuff involved there. So if you're interested in any of those shows, check them out. Monday through Friday, high noon at noon. Monday through Thursday, Pugs and Parker. All right, let's see if we can take a look at exactly what's happening with the airports over there. No. All right. Give me a second here as we get you all the proper. Nope, that's not the one I'm looking for. Okay, hold on. What is this? So I'm gonna have to go to one of them government sites. Gonna go to a government site and try and get you some answers on these airport closures and what they tell us. I mean, that's it's not just these specific airports being closed, sort of tell us they project kind of what we can be looking forward to. I got to close some of these windows, guys. I'm sorry, but nothing is working. We're gonna experience some really nasty drag here, I think. Okay, so let's close that one. We'll close that. That is just, I don't know what the heck is happening here. No. Bear with us. I got no need for Facebook to be open. I got very little need for Facebook in my day-to-day life, but I certainly right now have no need for Facebook to be open, causing all this crazy drag. We don't need this. Let me refresh this page. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right. So, these are the official. This is from the FAA, right? So this is going to be. These are what's happening here. So if you can see, we've got Charlotte. Is that Charlotte or Charleston? CHS. I believe that's Charleston. Let's figure this out. They're at a ground stop. Let's see. Departures to Charleston AFB Air Force Base and International Airport are grounded due to security. Okay, that's interesting. Let's look at this one over here. ILM. View the details. Departures to Wilmington International are grounded due to security. Isn't that interesting? Let's see what this one is. And Myrtle Beach. Departures to Myrtle Beach International Airport are grounded due to security. So why are those, pull this up. America. Not American Airlines. I want America. We'll show you exactly where those airports are and why it's interesting. I would normally on a regular show, I would try and have all of these things prepared for us beforehand. But again, breaking news waits for no man. And we've got a, okay. All right. There we go. I'll tell you, one of my absolute favorite things of the past few years has been Google Maps, right? I mean, you love Google Maps. So here's the area that we're looking at. You know, it might actually be better for us to check out the flight radar because there's some interesting stuff going on here. All right, so Myrtle Beach right here. By the way, I'm going to need your help, as I always like to turn it to the folks in the chat room. You are the associate producers of any of these live streams. You need to let me know if something is breaking. I don't always look at the chat room, so you might have to say it a couple of times. This is the area right here between Wilmington and Charleston. As I kind of predicted yesterday, I thought it would go over Charleston. I thought Charleston might be the big city it goes over. Didn't really go over any big cities. I don't know if that was by design. They steered clear of Washington. They didn't go anywhere near Washington. They were about 500 miles to the south of Washington. But here we go. Myrtle Beach, Wilmington, and Charleston. Okay, so these airports are all currently closed. Why are they closed? Because there is all kinds of activity going on. We believe the balloon is, are we sharing this? Yeah, we are. We believe the balloon right now is here. It's supposed to be heading out over the water within minutes. So we'll keep an eye on that. But first, let's tell y'all what's going on, huh? Apparently, they're going to shoot it down. Biden issues order to shoot down Chinese spy balloon as military jets circle it, and the FAA closes airspace and 3 airports in the Carolinas due to national security. The Biden administration has confirmed the shoot down order around 2 p.m. That would be 1 p.m. our time. The Biden administration has confirmed the shoot down order. Now, this is big breaking news because as of, me setting up this show to go live here, it was just rumors. It was, they might be getting ready to shoot it down. Well, yeah, now it looks like they are. At least 2 fighter jets are flying close to the balloon near Myrtle Beach. The Federal Aviation Authority announced a ground stop at Charleston, Myrtle Beach, and Wilmington International Airports in effect until at least 3:30 p.m. That would be Eastern time, so we're looking at 2:30 Central. Joe Biden has ordered the military to shoot down the Chinese spy balloon, and jets are now circling the aircraft after the FAA shut down 3 airports in the Carolinas. The Biden administration confirmed the shoot-down order around 2 p.m. after the president this morning vowed, "We're going to take care of it." All right. As he stepped off Air Force One at Hancock Field Air National Guard Base in upstate New York. At least 2 jets are flying close to the balloon near Myrtle Beach. The Federal Aviation Authority announced a ground stop at Charleston, Myrtle Beach, and Wilmington's international airports shortly after 1 p.m. That would be noon. That notice was originally in effect until 2:45 Eastern. That's 1:45. That's coming up here in a couple of minutes, but has now been extended to 3:30. Now, that tells us that they expected to shoot it down earlier, but they've had to extend that a little bit. So maybe it's not going to happen any minute. We'll see. Officials were aiming to time the operation so that they could recover as much of the debris as possible before it sinks into the ocean. The Pentagon had previously estimated that the balloon flying at about 60,000 feet in the air was about the size of 3 school buses and that any debris field would be substantial. In 1998, the Canadian Air Force sent up F-18 fighter jets to try and shoot down a rogue weather balloon. They fired 1,000 20-millimeter cannon rounds into it before it finally sank 6 days later. Okay. All right, so there you have it. That's the operation that's currently going on. So now let's do that thing that we love to do, where we check on the flight radar. Let's see here, where we see what kind of activity we got going on. Okay. Let's pull this up for you. You know, I like to talk about how I love the Google Maps. I also love the Flight Radar 24. Flight Radar 24 is fun stuff. All right, what are we looking at here? This is from last night, right? So this is, let's go to All right, so we're going to need to pull out a little bit. We're still looking at Billings from last night. We should move that over. Let's move that over. Let's pull out. Let's go over to the part of the country where we want to be, which is, all right. So here we have them again. We have the, here are the 3 airports. Wow. Would you look at this? Okay. So what we're looking at here and why I just said, wow, is because here's Wilmington, here's Charleston, here's Myrtle Beach. Okay. These are the 3 airports that have been shut down. Look at this. There is nothing in the area. They have cleared this airspace. We're also seeing reports right now that there are naval warships. Woo! Warships moving into the area, ostensibly to pick up any debris that's found. Let's see what we got here. Who is this guy? Oh boy, look at this guy. This is already interesting. No call sign on this bad mofo. Let's see what kind of military he is. He is a United States Air Force Boeing KC-135 Stratotanker. Now, we're familiar with these planes if you watch these streams, because these are the planes that we observed over the Ukraine in the very early days of the war that broke out over there. All right, so we got this guy. Let's see what path he's been flying. Oh, it's not giving us a path. Look at that. Look at that. Typically, they will show us, that it's been doing circles or whatever. But for some reason, this guy is not reporting his path. Who's this kid? Oh, man, look at this. Making his way up from Florida. We got another one. This is the United States Air Force. This is another Stratotanker. All right, so we got the Stratotanker here. We got another one here. Okay, this guy, now we're seeing his flight path. See his flight path. He's been circling around Charleston. I don't know what they were thinking. Maybe they were worried that there was going to be a little bit of wind blowing it. All right, let's go right into where. So is it Wilmington to the north? Yeah, it is. It's Wilmington to the north, right? Okay, Wilmington to the north. Myrtle Beach is the one in the middle. Let's get in closer here. Do we see anything? Is there anything? Now, what this website does, for those of you who are unaware, this website collects data in real time from transponders that are placed on the ground all throughout the world. So whenever an airplane, a commercial airliner, or any airliner that is legally in the air, and a plane that is, cleared with the FAA and all that stuff, this doesn't account for rogue planes. This doesn't account for planes that didn't file, reports, or that have their transponders turned off. This doesn't account for military operations. Although we are seeing the military. Wait, did we just lose the military planes? No, we didn't. Okay, there's the one. Yeah. Oh, there's the other one. Okay, very good. It's just my internet. Is there anything else in the area? Okay, so we've got these two. What's this guy? This guy here, this is just a little beach Super King. This guy is a JetBlue. No call sign. Okay. No. Okay. This dude right here is pretty interesting too. So now we know that this guy is doing something not shady, but something that the FAA said, yeah, no, you're cool. You're cool. You're one of us. So this guy is somebody. Where did this? No, that's not him. This guy is somebody. No, is it this guy? Where'd he go? I just lost the guy. I just lost the guy who had no call sign. Did we lose the other guy too? Or is this just, you know what? I am going to, all right, hold on now. We have breaking news. There are reports that the spy plane has now been taken out. Well, we didn't get to see any of it. Was there any good video of that happening? All right, let's see now. Now we got to file this live. We've got to figure this out. CNN is currently reporting. Eyewitness reports say that the Chinese spy balloon has been shot down. Okay, that's very exciting. We don't have that. We gotta go. We gotta look for some kind of official word now. Let's go back to Flight Radar for a second.
You're saying you're a local photographer in the Myrtle Beach area. I don't know if that was us losing the signal there, but Travis said he was a local photographer in the Myrtle Beach area.
Okay, so CNN is currently live talking to somebody who claims to be a local photographer in the area who witnessed the shoot down. of the Chinese spy balloon.
Deflate. You still with me, Travis?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Oh, that's better.
Could you hear me now?
All right.
So as I was talking with the other lady,
All right.
I got some missile or something coming from the airplane.
Sorry, there's a lot happening in this moment, and I'm just trying to. Okay, so here's a guy with no call sign. Did he do it? No, he's a Stratotanker. These would have been fighter jets, and oftentimes, we'll see the fighter jets in the air, but for some reason, not for some reason. The reason is that there's a spy balloon. Maybe that's why they're not reporting. But there was another no call sign plane in this area a few moments ago that we lost. That's not him. I want to see if he comes back. All right, so this guy has no call sign. This is the dude down there. He's outside of Charleston. This guy also has no call sign. Where's he? That's got to be him up there. Okay. Is there anybody else? Private owner. Okay, I don't know what that is. Probably one of them Illuminati types. Don't worry, I'm not crazy. Okay. So all that we're getting reports on are these two refueling vehicles that are in the area, amid reports that the Chinese spy balloon has been shot down. But there are two refueling planes in the sky. What are they in the sky for? So, that would suggest that there are probably, jets up there that have been up there for a while, jets that we cannot see. All right, let's move off of this. Now let's jump over into Twitter and let's see if we can find anything that's happening right now. Let's see what the latest is. Updated. Okay, here we go. Wait, we got some updated reports here from the FAA as far as closures. All right, so Charleston Airport is still closed until 3:15 Central. No, I'm sorry. This has been changed. This has changed. This is now an hour later again. So the Charleston Airport is at a full ground stop due to security, which is right there in the area where all this is happening, until 4:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's the same for Wilmington. Wilmington has now been pushed to 4:15 Central Time. They're experiencing a full ground stop due to security. And Myrtle Beach as well, is now been extended. That airport is at a full ground stop, nothing taking off, nothing landing until 4:15 p.m. Central Time. Okay, so now we've got that. I thought that maybe they'd say, we're going to open up the airports for a little bit. I mean, if it's down, right? Although I guess there might be a whole bunch of military activity going on there. Okay, let's see. Let's find the best tweet thread that we can on these. Okay, so we got this. This is from Apple News. Fox News. Fox News is now reporting U.S. military shoots down Chinese spy balloon over the Atlantic. The U.S. military has shot down the Chinese spy balloon over the Atlantic Ocean. While the balloon was off the coast of South Carolina, the balloon was shot down by the U.S. military on Saturday afternoon, according to Fox News sources. A senior defense official said during a Thursday afternoon briefing that the U.S. government is confident the surveillance balloon is from the People's Republic of China. What if it's not? I mean, what if it just turns out that it's not? What if they just shot down Richard Branson, doing some Virgin Airways promotion? When asked about the balloon on Saturday by a reporter, President Biden said, "We're going to take care of it." A senior U.S. official, he took it on a Saturday. This guy, as I said yesterday, this guy can't get out of his own way. He does it on a Saturday. He had an opportunity to blow this thing out of the sky on primetime television on Thursday evening, and he didn't recognize the political skin on the wall he could have gotten from that. So he waited till Saturday afternoon when everybody's at their kids' Little League games and we're all going to hear about it secondhand. Not here, not with this stream, because we're going live. A senior U.S. official told Fox News on Saturday that the government... All right, that's earlier. I'm wondering now how the narrative, the the politically divisive, anti whoever is in the big chair narrative gets shifted now. Because obviously it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who is in the White House. There are going to be some disingenuous bad actors who are going to, well, show that they have no real more. Okay, hold on. Who's calling me? All right, let's go over to the big house. It's Buffalo. We're live streaming. What's going on? Oh, hold on. Say that again. Go ahead.
I said I didn't know you were live streaming on Saturday.
It's a big breaking news, my man. We do all big breaking news.
So the spy balloon is your breaking news?
Well, yeah. Yeah. Isn't that why you're calling?
Well, I was just calling to let you know that the spy balloon being shot down.
Yes.
I think is a big bunch of crap.
Oh, okay. Look at this. We got a hot take. From my boy E. Tell me, give me your take on exactly what's happening here with what you've been watching. You've been watching it all morning?
Well, I mean, I was watching it earlier, and then I turned around and I was involved in a conversation. I noticed that the Chinese spy balloon was shot down. So how long ago did they shoot it down?
Within the last 5 minutes.
Okay, so I didn't miss much.
No, you didn't miss any. Well, here's what you missed. You missed the. It's like an award show. You missed the red carpet. You missed all the discussion. You missed all the tracking of the mobilization of military aircraft in the air. You missed the FAA shutting down all of the airports between Wilmington and Myrtle Beach.
So they knew it was going to get shot down then.
Oh yeah. They had only, as far as by the way, folks in the chat room, this is E. You may remember him from the early days of the Pugs and Parker show. Back then, it was called the P&E show. That's still a good name for a show. We've known pretty much all morning that it was leaked out. Well, here's how it happened. So Biden gets off a plane up in upstate New York today, and the reporters are like, "What are you going to do with the balloon?" And Biden this morning said, "We're going to take care of it, pal." You know, in the way that Biden does. And so that started everybody in a tizzy. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Because reports had been trickling out the last couple of days. Last night, we did a almost 3-hour stream tracking the balloon across America. And at that point, reports were that they were waiting for it to clear airspace, get over the water just off the coast of Charleston, Myrtle Beach area. And then they were going to take it down. So we knew that something was brewing.
So, all right, but I heard bullshit before that, and this is why I'm glad we're on the phone now.
Mm-hmm.
I heard bullshit before that we weren't going to do anything about it. We thought this was a good way to rub China's nose in the doo-doo and let everybody see that they did something that they weren't going to see. And why would we resort to shooting down the balloon? We would take the road higher and just let this be a major embarrassment for them since they've already apologized, and we're going to show that we're bigger than this.
Yeah, that doesn't work. Who would do that? Is like, I don't know who said that, but that sounds terrible. I mean, you know,
well, that's literally
they're
what they
embarrassed.
said,
Hold on. Whoever said that, whoever you heard say that, whatever talking head said that on the news, is trying to say that China is the nation that should be embarrassed by this. This was humiliating to us. This was a brazen violation of our airspace by, I don't want to call him an enemy, but by somebody who we have adversarial relations with at the moment. This was a humiliation for us, I believe.
I believe it was a humiliation for us if we didn't shoot down the spy balloon. Like, I believe you violate, you come over, you're expected to get shot down, you got shot down.
All right, hold on. We now have official breaking news, whereas moments ago, it was only being reported by a photographer on the ground who had called in and reported seeing it taken down. U.S. officials Okay, this is official. It's right there in the name. U.S. official. The United States military has shot down the Chinese spy balloon off the U.S. East Coast. So there you go, folks. No more speculation. No more wondering if the reports on the ground are true or not. It is true, at least according to our government. Continue. Sorry.
Right. So now we've taken the road that we said we weren't going to take, according to this MSNBC guy, and how he thought it was a victory in front of the eyes of the world by not doing anything. And they were guilty of basically not being trusted. So now we've shot it down, which I would have shot it down anyway, because I want to know what the shit you got in there.
Well, yeah, I mean, we talked about this last night.
The other funny thing that I heard them making fun of, okay, on MSNBC was that there were people that were Republican House members or that were of the opinion that there could be the COVID flu in the balloon.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Wait, no, hold on, wait a second. I'm trying to get all of my my biased political spaghetti straight in my head. So that person was admitting that the COVID was real, because I thought they did.
Yeah, but that's
okay. So in this narrative, hold on. So in this narrative, this guy is pushing that the COVID is real as opposed to being fake and something created by the Illuminati. So this guy's saying it's real, and they were going to drop the COVID vaccine on America. We got plenty of COVID vaccine in America. That's a bad plan from the start.
No, not the vaccine. They were going to drop the actual
virus.
New virus on it.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Like that. So his comment was that he didn't think that they should pop the balloon because we didn't know what was in the balloon.
And was this a man on the street, or was this somebody in studio?
This is a congressman.
Yeah. See, that's why I don't watch MSNBC. That's the most absurd analysis of the situation I've ever heard.
No, but they were pointing out that it was a Republican guy that
was saying
that.
it. Yeah, well, these people are crazy. Look, they're crazy on both sides.
Right, but he was pointing out that there was a Republican guy that did it, and I don't know who he was, but he was in the House. And then they showed another one, which was a chick, and one of them was like kind of a trope on the Chinese, because it was like, oh, they got the Wuhan virus in there or something like that. And then another one was by them essentially assigning it to the Chinese. It was some kind of
so let me get this straight. They were going to drop a bag of virus from 80,000 feet in the air and think that it wouldn't be completely dispersed into the wind by the time it hit the ground. They thought what? It would fall just unmolested to the ground.
Exactly, dude. That was a comical thing. And then the guy said, well, they're just not shooting them down, like they should. They should have already been shot down by now. And the guy goes, well, it looks to you like they're very close, but they're not close. They're at 80,000 feet.
Yeah.
And we don't have aircraft that would go up to 80,000 feet.
No, we
don't.
And
even if we did, why would we risk somebody's life up there at 80,000 feet?
You mean an American pilot? Yeah. We went over the height. Atmospheric limitations of American jets and all of that, and I think we came down with the F-22. I don't know if you guys were in the chat room. You can help me out from last night. The F-22 can top out at about 70,000 feet. That's still 10,000 feet below where the balloon was said to be hovering. Hey, here was my take on it. Tell me what you think of this. So, there was a really wonderful opportunity on Thursday night when this story first broke. When I was on my way to the Mavericks game, and the news is all a tizzy over this Chinese spy balloon over Montana, and everybody's talking about it. And we knew it was there. We knew what it was. At that point, the Chinese had even gone, "Oh, it's just a mistake. Sorry." So there was no question as to what it was. We knew what it was on Thursday night. People were clamoring on Thursday night, myself included. Shut it down, shoot it down. It's over Montana. And then the response, not directly to me, but the response to that chorus of criticism was, well, we can't really estimate what that debris field would be because of the height of it and the wind, and we couldn't ensure that people on the ground wouldn't be hurt. So, okay, so I understand that. But Montana, for crying out loud. I mean, there is no better place in America to be able to take that shot.
Yeah, everybody was screaming that.
All right, so but hold on. Well, now let me finish. Let me finish with my criticism of Joe Biden, who just upset me to no end over this. It was reported at that same moment that when Biden first heard about it on Wednesday, a day before any of us heard about it, he had asked his military for military options. He wanted to shoot it down. And apparently General Miley, Joint Chiefs of Staff, said we can't do it. Now, here's where I got so angry. So we wake up on Friday morning. And it turns out we've got an amazing jobs report. The entire country, not the entire country, but, at least some of them, are saying this jobs report is ridiculous. This is a banner day for Biden. Except, you see, nobody talked about the banner day for Biden in the jobs report because this idiot failed to shoot it down. Now, imagine if Biden had shot down the balloon on Thursday night. Imagine he shoots that thing down on Thursday night and then wakes up Friday morning with basically, I fixed the economy. Do you know the kind of weekend this guy could have been having? But instead, he didn't get any of the good attention for the jobs thing because everybody was criticizing him for being a pussy about not shooting it down. And I can't believe that they allowed that kind of political win to get out of their hands. It would have been, imagine if Trump was still president. Imagine he would have turned it into a TV show. It would have been live on TV at 8:00 on Thursday night. Trump from the Oval Office. All right, we're all going to watch us blow this thing out of the air. We'd have blown it out. Everybody would have waved their flags. We're number one. And that dude would have basked in the glory to re-election. That's the kind of fucking opportunity that Biden doesn't recognize. He totally blew it. And so now we got to do this on Saturday when nobody is watching. Could have been done in prime time, could have made serious political hay out of it. But again, the Dems can't get out of their way. They're just a gaggle of dick trippers. Go ahead, E. I'm done.
I'm glad that you shared that. I understand your frustration. But you're not going to be able to bury on Saturday that we shot down a Chinese, weather balloon over our skies. I mean, as much as, starting out on Saturday isn't a good day to start out when you could have started out during the week.
No, you don't get it. It's about the news cycle. It's about managing the news cycle and how people receive the news.
I get that. This will run now for 3, 4, 5 until Blinken basically is scheduled back.
This guy.
Well, I'm just saying, until he's scheduled back in China, okay, this is going to be a thing. The minute that he's scheduled to go back, then the thing is going to be on the mend. The minute all along that he's not going, after shooting down, the next question is, well, what are our fucking relationships with China? How is it that we had to shoot it down? You couldn't tell them to navigate it down to the ground? Like they didn't have the ability to take it down and let us see it?
They don't want to take it down. This was a humiliation play. This whole thing was designed to make us look bad.
So if they're not going to take it down, then we're going to... I mean, that to me was the play. The play would have been, look, you're controlling it from China. It's your electronics, not ours. If you're sorry, take this motherfucker down. No. Land wherever the fuck it is you're going to land. If you're not sorry, okay, then we're going to blow the motherfucker up.
Well, I don't think I don't know. I wouldn't advise that. We don't even need to have any communication with them. The minute we identified that thing was a Chinese spy balloon, we should have taken it down. We should have
communication with them. They've apologized.
Yeah, right. And then they warned us. They apologized and basically said, don't do anything stupid. What the fuck? Don't create an international incident. That's what the fear was. Where I maintain the international incident began the minute the Chinese sent a spy satellite over the continental United States. It's a chess game and it's our move. Us blowing this thing out of the sky is not us creating an international incident. It's us defending our sovereign lands. So I don't understand these people who are like, oh, let's just let it go and let's just let it collect the data. That is so cowardly. That is exactly the kind of shit that people hate about America right now. And I'm talking about other Americans that we're not John Wayne anymore. All of a sudden, we're just namby-pamby pearl clutchers who are so worried about what China might do. Kills me. We should have blown it up on live TV on Thursday evening. Trump would have done it, and Trump would have reaped the benefits.
It's because we were dealing with the minute they said, well, hey, wait a minute, we can't blow it up because it'll hit people. That worked for an hour or two. Then somebody said, well, wait a minute, people, we're talking about fucking Montana. There's no people there.
We got it. All right, honey, here we go. We're going to watch here. We're going to watch some video live. Hold on. All right, folks, what you're seeing here is some live video from Jason Sellers on Twitter. He was on the ground, and it looks to me like he's got a pretty good angle of this thing getting blown out of the sky. What we're seeing here, you can see the contrail. I don't know if that's a missile. I don't know. Do we have any reports? Chat room, help me out. I don't know if we have any reports of what was used to take it down, but let's watch this. Here we go. Some of the first video here of the balloon being taken down out of the sky. I can't believe that we've got this good of a shot of it. Here we go.
Here we go.
All right, you see the balloon and you see two contrails streaming towards the balloon. I didn't see it get taken down. I heard the people react.
That's my Air Force right there, buddy.
Air Force right
there,
go. Buddy. You guys in the chat room, am I missing something?
Boom!
When they say boom, I don't see a boom.
Boom! Boom!
I don't see it.
It looked very much like a rocket went through it.
That's my Air Force right there, buddy.
That's my Air Force right there, buddy. Yeah, okay. Which one? Which Air Force? All right. That's very exciting. Let's see if we've got any other alternative angles of that. It's a good day. It's a good day to be American. Also, we should track. I have some information here, folks, on ship movements off the coast of the Atlantic so we can see exactly what the Navy's got out there to try and scoop this bitch up. Let's see if I can find that here. No, you know what? I want to look for better angles. So let's just see if we can find better angles.
Yeah, I mean, Schumer's saying now we can collect the equipment. Of course. Like, once it got over our airspace, as much as you want to be politically correct and like, oh, let them be the higher one, fuck that. You take the equipment. I mean,
well, yeah, in 2001, like we talked about last night, this is not unprecedented. In 2001, the United States military had a reconnaissance plane that was flying over China. And at the time, we were like, it was a mistake. No, it wasn't. They caught us. They spy on us. We spy on them. In 2001, when the United States military plane was over China, China scrambled their jets and forced our people to the ground in China, where they then held our crew, the personnel of that plane. They held them captive for a number of days, and then they gave them back, but they refused to give back the plane. It was a cutting-edge, state-of-the-art reconnaissance plane, and Chinese stripped it of all of its tech, all of its this. So, this idea of us, doing the same thing, this doesn't violate any kind of international rule of fair play. This is how it's done. And of course we're going to do it. But here's my issue. And this is a problem that I have. As I said last night, it's not like there's a VCR recording in this thing. It's not like they needed this balloon to get back to China where they could then pop out the tape and see what it recorded. This thing was relaying real-time information the entire journey. Okay, so any of the information that China was looking to gather with this little traverse across the continental United States, any information that they were looking to get, they already got. They got it. They got it all. It's already been sent back to Beijing. So us waiting for it to clear airspace so that we could drop it in the water, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we weren't all that worried about the information they were gathering. Maybe it's been determined by the Pentagon that this was less a fact-finding and intelligence gathering operation and more of a humiliation play, which is what I'm thinking it is. I think it was China trying to embarrass the United States by saying, watch, I bet they don't do anything. They are so politically polarized in that country. They probably will just let us do it. And then we'll laugh on the world stage. So in that regard, I'm glad they blew it down, and I'm glad we got ships in the water off the coast, and I'm glad we're going to scoop it up. Hopefully we can scoop it up. We'll see. I don't know.
I agree with all that assessment. I mean, I think it took a little long, but are you playing possum in the negotiation possibly? Where you're like, hey, how bad of a liar are you really? Oh, we're sorry, it's just a weather balloon, blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah, we promise. Yeah, fine. Okay, great. We're getting there. They're not letting us out. Sounds like maybe they're letting us,
I believe it. Just checking.
Discovered.
Hold on. I've got another. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to collect your thought here. I've got another piece of video here. This is better. This comes from Fox. This is a closer view. This is not some civilian on the ground with a phone. This seems to be a high definition camera, a professional camera. And this is live footage of it being. Now, this one we actually see
Twitter
Here we go.
on several different official. Oh,
there it goes.
no.
Yeah. Okay. We definitely blew it out of the sky.
Just happened there.
That worked. Let's watch it one more time.
Checking Twitter on several different official. Oh, no. I believe it just happened there. That was it. Live, raw, and unfiltered. It appears that China spy balloon. Checking Twitter.
All right. What's that, E?
I said, there's no doubt that's a missile.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, all right. So now we gather it up and we reverse engineer it.
Look at the way that it exploded.
Yeah. That's one of the other funny things that people were talking about. You saw all these rednecks with their guns, right? They're like, we're going to shoot it down. Like they think their shotgun can go 80,000 feet in the air, whatever. That's crazy. But also the idea that people were thinking, well, why can't we just pop it? Like it's a birthday balloon. Like it's not covered in military grade Kevlar. Like this thing isn't flying at 80,000. Like they're going to spend all this money on this reconnaissance thing, and then it can just be popped by an errant flock of geese, right? It's like, you can't just shoot this down with bullets, dude. Those bullets will bounce right off that thing. A missile, however, that's a little bit different.
Yeah. Well, and all that stuff that came out, that was the Wuhan juice.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. The Wuhan flu, the Kung Fu flu, whatever the hell it is that they wanted to call it.
You notice how it came out, it still hasn't gotten anywhere. Like it's like that amount of three fucking school buses worth of air compared to the world ain't gonna do diddly do. It's like ain't gonna do anything.
Let's see this again. Ma Beller says she's not seeing it. All right, there you go, Ma Beller. We're gonna play this one more time for you. Mama Beller's in the chat room.
Checking Twitter.
All right, so here we go.
Different official. Oh, no. I believe it just happened there.
Yep. I believe that's what we just
was
saw.
It. Live, raw, and unfiltered. It appears that China spy balloon.
That's actually kind of funny, that news guy, because typically when they cover or are awaiting these big breaking news events to occur, they have to fill, they have to be prepared to fill, because it's never going to happen right when you want it. And in this case, the dude, it happened too quick for him. It happened right away. They didn't make us wait. They didn't string it along. They just went up there and they got it. Let's one more time. Let's check on FlightAware Flight Radar 24 and let's see exactly what the planes are doing over there. Let's see if we still have some military planes in the area like we did. We were tracking 2 United States military Strato tankers. The jets that we believe were used in this operation were not identifying. They were not, the transponders were off, so we didn't see them. We did see the Strato tankers. All right, let's see what else we got here. The number 1 watched flight in the world currently is, yes, it is the United States. It's the U.S. Coast Guard plane now is on the scene, and that would make sense if they're trying to recover whatever it was. This is out of Elizabeth City. This is a Lockheed Martin Super Hercules United States Coast Guard reconnaissance jet. So you can see as, are we sharing that? No, we're not sharing that yet. Okay.
Did you see it when it blew up?
The balloon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, aren't we a little concerned that we got a little close to the mechanical components? Like why
maybe
didn't
blew,
we shoot it up higher in the middle?
Like maybe vaporized all the shit that we kind of wanted to reverse engineer. Maybe. I don't know. It looked like maybe they just hit the balloon, and it, because I watched.
No, they hit the bottom, dude.
I don't know. I saw something fall. There was something that was dangling below where the impact occurred.
That's the metal piece. Like, why didn't you fucking take it out there?
What are you, some Chinese spy balloon expert? You know how these things are outfitted? I have no idea what I'm looking at.
But I'm telling you, the metal structure, not the fucking balloon part, okay, is the part we're trying to salvage to recon to see what the hell they're up to.
I don't know. Are we? I don't know. I don't know what we're looking for. I'm not an expert. And neither are you. We don't know. We have to trust. See, this is where we have to have at least a little trust in our institutions.
I'm not saying I'm an expert by any stretch of the imagination. What I am saying, though, is I know what a balloon looks like, and I know what equipment looks like to fly the bitch. And the equipment to fly the bitch, we sent the missile like right close to it where we should have just pierced the balloon.
See, and I don't know. I have to imagine that the people who pulled the trigger, dude, the people who pulled the trigger knew what they were doing. That's all. Certainly more. Maybe they don't know what they're doing. They know more than me and you.
Know what they were doing. I'm just suggesting if it was intentional that they got that close to the metal pieces, or if that just is kind of where it ended up. And if they could have had their druthers about it, they'd have poked the balloon and not gotten that close to the Chinese spy equipment.
All right, hold on. Let's track the this Lockheed Martin Super Hercules from the U.S. Coast Guard. It appears at the moment, here it is right here. It's flying crazy circles. Is it on the ground? Is that an Air Force base or is that a Coast Guard station?
I didn't even know we shot it down. They're showing pictures of him on Fox. Has he acknowledged that he knows it's been shot down?
Biden?
Yeah.
Well, of course, he gave the order. He was probably in a room.
I know, but does he remember? Does he remember is my question.
Yeah, I don't know. That is a possibility. You're right. It's a problem with having 95-year-old leaders. All right. So, yeah, the Hercules, the Coast Guard Hercules is still in the air. Did they shoot it down over water? Is that absolutely confirmed? Because this Coast Guard reconnaissance plane that has only recently been put up in the air, folks. If you remember when we first signed on here, we were watching 2 United States Air Force Stratocasters. They were in the area. Those are refueling vehicles. Those are used to refuel fighter jets. The fighter jets were not live or active on their transponders, so we couldn't see the fighter jets, but we saw the Strato tankers, and where there are Strato tankers, there are fighter jets, because you don't put up refueling vehicles just willy-nilly, and certainly not on a day like today where the whole world is concentrating on this particular part of the United States. So that was interesting. Now, this Coast Guard plane, this has only gone up, at least as far as we've seen. Now, again, I should point out, that doesn't mean that it just went up. It means that it only recently began reporting these planes, these military planes, oftentimes, as I said about this website gathers information by transponders that are on the ground throughout the globe. That's how they're able to track every plane in the air, because as the planes in the air cross over a transponder, the planes are required to check in with the transponder. So that's how we're able to track these planes. I go back to the Malaysian airplane that disappeared, and I wonder what happened with this system then, but whatever. This is how we know. So sometimes the military planes do not check in with the transponders, especially when they're doing some kind of covert mission or some sort of defense operation. So that explains why we're now seeing the flight path of this Coast Guard plane. We weren't seeing this 10 minutes ago. And just judging from the now reported flight path of the Coast Guard plane, it's been up in the air for a very long time. And the reason I ask if we're certain that it was shot down over the ocean is because right here south of James City, which is James City, this is on the Neuse River. I don't know, I'm unfamiliar with this part of the world. Is this North Carolina? It seems to be doing circles over a rural area that is not over the water. So why is the Coast Guard flying circles around what looks to be rural North Carolina? Is that North Carolina? I don't know. So how about you? You're watching TV there. Have you seen any confirmation that it was shot down over water?
Well, I mean, it's showing in the earlier footage that it's from Surfside Beach, South Carolina.
Wait a second, you guys. I'm so sorry. All right, this is my bad. This happens with live TV. I'm think. Oh no, it is. Okay, so that is the one. It is north of. It is. Hold on. Where is the? Where the hell is this? Okay, so there's Norfolk. So we're looking at about 200 miles south of Norfolk. We're looking at about maybe 50 miles north of Wilmington. So this would be in North Carolina, where that Air Force jet, where the Coast Guard jet is. Sorry, just trying to figure. I'm trying to figure out the area where the plane went down.
If you were to look at Fox right now, there's an interesting video where it shoots it out of the plane, or shoots it down, like you see the whatever pierced it there, and it starts to go down. And then as it travels down, about 3 or 4 minutes, there's this other, I don't know if it's a plane or something, streaking across the sky. And it's in close proximity to the balloon. So I don't know if we've tracked ourselves. But
Hugh Morris hold on. Hugh Morris in the chat room says that it's now being confirmed. Thank you, associate producer and chat Denzi and Hugh Morris. He says confirmed, shot down over water. Okay, that's what we needed to know.
Right. What I'm saying is when you watch this video on Fox, as the balloon's coming down, there's an aircraft that streaks very quick underneath it. That I want to know what airplane that was.
Wasn't even an airplane. You know what I mean? As you said, was it a missile? I don't know what I'm looking at. We are not experts. What we are doing right here is...
You'll see, it almost looks like a boat and a motor were on this blue sea, and they were blazing past it. But I don't know why the screen is all blue. You know, I mean, there's no definition of where this balloon's going. Other than it's going into water.
Hold on a second. According to Flight Radar, we now have a lot of activity right here off the coast of Myrtle Beach. What is this? I'm going to guess this is probably a military plane. It says that is not a helicopter. Oh, look at this, folks. We've got what appears to be a large plane. There we go. This is its NA. Oh, this is a ghost plane. We have got a massive airplane in the restricted area with NA. That means nothing is known about this plane, which tells you that this is CIA or, something like that. All right, so let's ignore that. We have no flight path on this one. Folks in the chat room, are we able to see that? Yeah. Okay, so folks in the chat room, you see this big-ass plane Call sign FFAB123 with absolutely no other information being reported about it. All right, so now let's check. We've got a helicopter. I'm guessing this is going to be a military helicopter. No, it's a private owner. Private owner. Again, though, private owner, NA. This means that he is not filing reports and he is in a restricted zone. So who is this private owner? This isn't just some guy who's up for an afternoon fly. This is something. These are two planes in the area, in the restricted fly zone, where there are no other commercial airliners allowed to be. These two planes with absolutely no verification and no transponders turned on. These two planes seem to be flying willy-nilly, freely off the coast of Myrtle Beach, which would suggest this area right here is probably where it went down. Who's this guy? Who's this guy down here on Surfside Beach? This guy is this is a little douche. He's just a little private douche in his Cessna. He's got a Cirrus SR-22. Although he's got NA too, so we don't know what this guy is. Okay, all right, this is also interesting. This guy, I thought like it's just a little private plane, but it's not. Look at the flight path. His flight path is going directly through the restricted zone, and he's got NA. Guys, this is a CIA operation at this point. This is our intelligence community. This does not happen. This is not a regular occurrence where you have three planes in what we know is a restricted zone. We're still looking at the FAA reports that are telling us that these airports, this entire stretch of the eastern seaboard between Wilmington and Charleston, with Myrtle Beach in the middle, is completely restricted to all air travel. And we are currently seeing 3 aircraft in the area with absolutely sus verifications. So something is going on right here in this area. Folks, look at this flight path. Look at the plane. We're looking at the plane. It's a Cirrus SR-22 aircraft type. Its altitude is currently at about 4,000 feet.
How do you know it's that? How do you know it's not misrepresenting what it is?
What do you mean?
How do you know that the transponder that's recording it as a Cirrus whatever isn't misrepresenting what it is?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. I mean, because they know that there's a plane in the air. They're picking it up on radar. They can tell probably from size and all of that what kind of plane it is. What they don't have is any Hold on. What they don't have is any information on what the plane is doing up there, which is the rare thing. If you are a legal plane in the air anywhere in the world, you have to be authorized. You have to be checked in. These planes in this restricted zone are not authorized and they are not checked in, and they don't seem to be having any problem, which deductively speaking leads us to know it's probably an intelligence operation. And they're using small planes, private helicopters, and this big, giant plane. This is a big plane, too. Look at it compared to the other planes in the area. This is a big plane, and it has absolutely no information associated with it. Again, also flying directly through the restricted area. So this is where it's going on. Looks like it's between Arcadian Shores and Surfside Beach. Okay, so that looks to be the area right off of Myrtle Beach, between Arcadian Shores to the north and Surfside Beach to the south, where this operation, recovery, whatever it is at this point, is going on. Who's this guy? Let's see what we got here. All right, here's another. There's a private owner. Okay, but he's flying north of the restricted zone. What's this? All right, it's another one. Okay, so this guy, here's another guy. This is a Zenith cruiser. He is flying out of the Myrtle Beach area. He has absolutely no registration. He's flying at about 2,000 feet. We don't know what he's doing. He seems to be going in the opposite direction. You guys watching with me on the flight radar, let me give you an idea of what restricted airspace looks like. So what we're seeing here is the stretch between Wilmington and Charleston, where the airports are closed. Wilmington Airport is closed. Charleston Airport is closed. Myrtle Beach is closed. So that stretch right here, we see no airport. No, what? What do you got? You got breaking news?
So Biden said that he told them on Wednesday to shoot it down.
Yeah. We've been reporting that. And Miley said, we were worried about debris falling. Yeah.
Right. So let's do it at a safer place.
Which also, allows them to just gather all kinds of information that they want. Now, granted, tracking the balloon, I don't know what kind of information they want over Missouri, Arkansas, and Tennessee, but hey, whatever. I did think it was interesting that the flight path of the balloon steered very clear of Washington, D.C. It didn't go anywhere near Washington, D.C. I think that might have been a bridge too far for the Chinese. They were like, we should fly it right over Washington. I'm like, no, let's just put it over a bunch of states where there's not really, you know what I mean? They didn't fly over any major cities. They didn't fly over.
Well, I just find it hugely disrespectful that you don't bring it to the ground. Like, I've got to go up there and shoot it down.
Okay, so you're saying your demand would have been that the Chinese land it in America so that we can then just, they ain't going to do that. They ain't going to do that. I mean, I get it. That would be nice if everybody in the world played in the global sandbox politely, but we don't.
Sorry, that's what you do.
That's not
if you're sorry, that's what you do. That's how you get me to believe. Okay,
if you're sorry,
that
sure.
You're only fucking looking at weather.
Right, but you can't even be wasting a minute's thought on trying to believe them when they say they're sorry. This is spying. These are spy games.
I mean, if you're going to portray me, okay, as a dick or as a weak person or whatever, I've got to give you the full equation. And if I said to them, hey, I hear you're sorry, okay, that ain't going to work here, okay, with the exception of you bring the thing to the ground in the U.S. and we pick it up and go home and check it out, or we're going to shoot it down. I think that if I were you, I would choose the first, because I'm going to say I gave you the option and you chose not to shoot it to the ground or not to bring it down. So I then went and wasted a bunch of taxpayer money on a fucking missile to shoot down your problem. I'm more pissed off now, okay, than I was when you got over my airspace.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the insult. If you guys are trying to make fun of me or you're trying to make me appear weak because I won't do anything, my first response was, okay, you bring the motherfucker down, because that's the right thing to do if it was a mistake. And if it wasn't a mistake, okay, and it was intentional, then I guess you're not going to bring it down because you're hiding something. And so I'm going to go shoot it down. And if I shoot it down, we got a fucking problem.
Folks, let me direct your attention to the screen that I just put up. This comes from National Security Correspondent Jason Palladino. What he's showing us here is the track off the coast of North Carolina, South Carolina, of the warships that were mobilized to recover whatever it is. Whatever it is, we don't know what it is. Let's see if there's any other photos. What are we talking about here? What kind of... All right, so it seems Groves, is that where it started from? What is that? That's not even, it looks like the ship came out of some little port here. That's not Norfolk. That's not Virginia Beach. That's not the big naval base that we have in the area. So it seems, what are we talking here, guys? About 10 miles offshore? It seems like the ships have been cruising 10 miles offshore. It seems to stop somewhere off of Carolina Beach. Is that what that's called? No, it seems to stop and be waiting in the water just off of Wilmington. Let's see what kind of ship we're talking about. All right, we are talking about what is this? A U.S., the ship in the water. All right, it is out of Virginia Beach. It's U.S. out of Virginia Beach. It is a U.S. MRH. What is that? What would you call that, folks? Is that like a recovery vehicle? Any Navy guys in the chat room? It's certainly not a battleship.
Do you have the ability to watch Fox?
Well, sure, we all do. I just choose not to.
Well, I want you to watch this footage that they're replaying, because something... It's like when they blow it up, they detach the metal from the balloon. That's how precise they hit it.
You know, I sometimes I gotta worry about strangers getting all political. I didn't think when I started this that I would have to be silencing my own mother in the chat room who was throwing Trump bombs. All right, Mom, dial back the politics. My mom says, I think that big unmarked plane is Trump trying to save the day. Yes, Mom, that's exactly what it is. All right, that is my mom.
So what I'm saying is, if you watch the footage on Fox, right away when they blow it up, it looks like they disconnect the balloon from the metal structure that the balloon looks like it was floating. Like, it looks like they precisely did it like that. And then it trails down in the atmosphere with the metal piece dropping quicker than the balloon piece, which would make sense.
Let me ask you, the video that you're watching on Fox, does it have a photo credit? Like in the upper right corner, does it say courtesy of, or does it have a name? Because I'm watching video.
It says Chad Burgum.
Okay, I'm watching Travis Huffstetler's video, and it seems to be the exact same thing that you're describing. So yeah, CNN is also showing the video you seem to be describing.
Okay, so now you see that metal piece going down.
Yeah.
But when you look down underneath that, you're going to see this plane streaking all of a sudden.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I saw that.
Right there. There. You see that cloud that struck underneath there. What the fuck is that?
I don't know. Is that a parachute too? Is that a parachute, or is that just
I don't know.
a tattered balloon? Yeah, no, it's definitely not a parachute, because now it's kind of doing the whirligig thing.
Right, but you see the thing when it initially shoots it, there's something that falls quicker than the parachute, and it's got like a mirrored reflection.
Yeah.
That's going down, and the parachute is way over top of it. And then all of a sudden there's this like chemtrail that has previously went underneath there in that, nanosecond, and almost like they were trying to catch it.
All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Is this thing wrapping up? I mean, at this point, isn't it the post-game show, right? I mean, I guess they're out in the water now, so I can't imagine we're going to
balloon to fall. It's not like the Twin Towers,
right? And it's not like we're going to have some dudes with their cell phones filming, raw footage of the Coast Guard recouping whatever it is that fell into the water. I imagine that from this point forward this afternoon, folks, this is all just going to be a whole bunch of talk about what we just saw. You want to wrap this up? You want to get back? I might stream for a little bit longer, but if you hear anything, call back in, okay?
Yeah, well, good luck with your streaming. I don't think it's going to change much.
Yeah, well, that's okay. That's okay. We're prepared to do hours upon hours. All right, there he goes, ladies and gentlemen. E, king of the house, the master of the property, my best pal. There he goes. All right. Well, that was fun. Yes. See, he was just calling in to do that off the air. He was just we would have just talked for 3 hours about this, but instead I was streaming. So we got to show you a little bit of a taste of what the conversations between we two idiots is like. And we're just a couple of idiots who are just all ginned up, talking out of our ass. All right, let me see what is the latest here. Do we have anything more that's happening? The plane has been shot down, or the spy balloon has been shot down. Let the political nonsense commence, because that's what happens next, right? Now all the people who were demanding that the plane be shot, or that the balloon be shot down, these people on Thursday, this is typical Biden, you gotta shoot that thing down. Those people will now completely change course, although not immediately. They'll have to wait for, the people who tell them what to say. They'll have to wait for them to chime in. So in the next couple of hours, you'll hear how shooting it down was a bad thing. It was a good thing when he wasn't going to do it, but it's soon to become a bad thing that he shot it down. So, the intellectual consistency of some Americans these days is truly stunning. Let's see if we can find anything new. Look, why can't we all agree that shooting it down was a good thing? Now, if we want to quibble over when it should have been shot down. I'll go there with you because I agree. I wanted it to be shot down on Thursday night on live TV. You got to collect a couple of news cycles if you can. You get the prime time 10 p.m. nationwide news audience to report it. Then you get the all day Friday conversation on all the news networks. Then you get the Friday night shows, the discussion show. You can't do this on a Saturday. There is nobody. People are at their kids' games. People. Do you know how many people are going to be out to dinner tonight and it's going to be the first time that they hear about it? It will. Someone will be like, hey, did you see that Chinese spy balloon? And some guy will be like, yeah, what are they going to do? They're going to shoot that thing down? And then the dude who saw it is going to go, no, that's how people are going to find out. Whereas if this had happened inside an established news cycle, which is Monday through Friday, everybody would know. Everybody would know. But there are going to be significant amounts of people who don't even know about this until tomorrow morning when they finally check back in the news with their Sunday paper. That's why you can't do these things on Saturdays. News that breaks on a Saturday, news that breaks on a Friday night, late Friday night, like after all of the news has been put to bed, news that breaks on late Friday night or Saturday afternoon has always been known as a dead drop or a news dead drop. That's actually a spying term. It's known as you'd think someone who went to journalism would have the terminology down, journalism school, but I don't. It's called a help me, my old brain. Actually, it doesn't matter. But you don't do that. You don't. Why did he wait? The stupid president of ours, he completely squandered a political win. And he finally came around to do it, but it's at a lesser time. I keep going back to Trump, man. Trump would have turned it into a national television event. He would have let everybody promote it. He would have allowed the biggest audience possible to gather. He'd have done it at 9 p.m. Thursday night. He'd have been from the war room. He would have been the first president ever to allow cameras into the war room. Live cameras, live streaming cameras. It would have been glorious. And he would have basked in that glory. Trump wouldn't let that thing go across Tennessee the way Biden did. I'm not a big Trump guy. And I'm not a Trump guy at all. I should fix that. Not a Trump guy at all. But also, obviously, not a Biden guy. So do with that information what you will. They should have done it earlier. They should have done it. Let me just do one more quick run through. Apparently, it's being reported now that an F-22 is what shot it down. Don't know if that's true or not. A lot of new video coming out. Oh, actually, that's not a lot of new video. That's actually, let's go latest. Let's see what the latest is. All right. Yeah, just give something like this a couple of seconds. When we're done waving our flags, we immediately go back to hating on the other half of America who doesn't vote the way we do. All right, it's now getting political. Folks, that's going to be it for this special stream. I hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the Chinese balloon takedown. We do 5 live shows every Monday through Friday at noon. It's high noon with me. It's current events coverage. It's hot takes. It's topics, headlines, whatever it is that's happening in the world. We bring it to you every Monday through Friday at noon Central Standard Time. Then we double back Monday through Thursday evenings. We do a second stream, the 9 p.m. stream. We call that Pugs and Parker Present Pillow Talk. Pillow Talk is more conversational. The noon show is more designed to get you prepped up on all of the stories that people are talking about. The noon show is not political. We try to cover all of the stories in a way that is not, we say this way and the right says that and the left says that. And no, we don't do that. We try and find the happy medium. Look, there's plenty of stupid shit in this world, in this country, that we can all agree on. And that is the conceit of the noon show. We try to find those stories that we can all agree on. We're going to end this. We're going to end this now. All of these shows do run, at least for the next few weeks, on your gratuities. If you'd like to drop a little something in the tip jar, thank you so much. We appreciate that. You can see the Venmo. You can see the PayPal. You can see the Pugscast. You can see the Cash App. All of that stuff. You can drop a little tip if you want to keep supporting these shows. And I guess stay tuned, man, right? We're doing this now. We're doing more breaking live news streams. So follow us on YouTube there, right there. If you're watching on YouTube, just click the follow. And whenever we go live with some shenanigans that we feel need to be mocked and covered, you'll get a notification. All right, that's going to do it. We're out of here. It looks like we shot down the Chinese balloon. I'm going to go in the other room now and just watch all this crazy news coverage and find out why it's a bad thing now. It's going to be, trust me, watch. It's going to be a bad thing. No, thank you, Leslie. It's going to be a bad thing. The same people that were like, we need to shoot it down, are now going to be like, why'd you shoot it down? Because that's the consistency that we have in this country. All right, thank you, folks. Love you all. We'll see you on Monday at high noon if nothing else big happens between now and Monday. All right, bye. I'm Pugs Moran. This has been a special report on the Radio Misfits podcast platform, RadioMisfits.com.